Hello, this is Emma from Bookworm Undercover. Most of the videos I have uploaded so far have been analyses and reviews of books and TV shows. And these books and TV shows have a more narrative purpose, as a complete story with a beginning, middle, and end. However, I recently got back into a K-pop girl group that I used to love, absolutely adore. They're called 여자아이들, or as they recently changed their name, 아이들. 여자 meaning girl, and 아이들 meaning kids, children, or a group of younger people. I specifically want to talk about the masterpiece that is Nude. Nude is a song. I've seen various reaction videos online where people blind react to the music video, but Nude is jam-packed with references, meaning, and so much pure, unadulterated critique of the show industry, and most blind react videos fail to capture the true extent of all the choices that went into creating such a piece of art. So I decided to take a, poke at it. Before we dive into the song itself, I'll introduce the group first. 아이들 is a K-pop girl group comprised of 5 members in total. Leader, rapper, and producers Hoyeon, main vocals Minnie and Miyeon, main dancer and sub-vocal Ugi, and sub-vocal Shuha. A characteristic that got me hooked onto their group in the first place was how much control they had over their songs and how much message goes into them, as you will soon see. The group debuted in 2018, and interestingly enough, over half of the group is foreigners. Minnie is Thai, Ugi is Chinese, and Shuha is Taiwanese. Okay, enough of all this background information. If there's more information needed, I'll talk about them as we go. But before we get into it, I just want to say that all the translations of the lyrics were done by me. I did my best to try and retain all the connotation and meaning that I could. And please note that the lyrics do not bring into mind the rhythm of the song or anything, because I'm not a musician. I am Korean, and so some of the lyrics may have been interpreted to what I thought the meaning of the lyrics were when I listened to them in Korean. This is the first screen you will see when you start the music video for Nude. You will immediately notice that most of the language being used is very sexualized. The cover itself seems to be attracting an audience. It's trying to provoke. Take a closer read. All her loves, ladies, and lusty legends. Contrary to what we thought, the wording implies that the show is not for the audience, but for someone, or perhaps we can describe them as her. For all the people that have been sexualized before, this is a sneaky way to bring in the theme from the beginning. The audience is meant to be provoked, to be aroused, but it's not the actual show that is arousing, but the perverted minds of the people watching. The wording signals that the show is not for anyone but themselves. This is the opening to the song. The lyrics go, "Why you think that about Nude? 'Cause your view's so rude. Think outside the box, then you'll like it." This immediately establishes the theme of the music video, the sexualization of women, specifically the kind rooted in the show industry. The next screen is where Minnie starts to sing. This entire setup, the red staircase in the background, her dress, the diamonds on her neck, the guys surrounding her in the tuxes with the red hearts, is a very heavy reference to Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, a movie featuring Marilyn Monroe. Specifically, this is from a song called "Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend," a song where Monroe discredits the usefulness of men and reduces them to tools of benefit. She claims that diamonds are worth more than men, since diamonds are loyal and they never change. The lyrics contain heavy meaning as well, as it goes, Hello, my name is 예삐 예삐요. 말투는 멍청한 듯 몸은 섹시 섹시요. This translates to, Hello, my name is 예삐 예삐. I talk like I'm stupid, but my figure's sexy sexy. Note that 예삐 예삐 comes from the Korean word 예쁘다, which means pretty. The lyrics are a clear representation of how many women are degraded down to merely their looks. Their thoughts do not matter, nor their voice. It is their figure and body that makes them valuable in show business. In addition, the fact that she claims her name is Yepi implies that her identity is built upon how she looks, because, your name is a representation of you. However, this continues with Mini singing 그런 다이아 박힌 티아라 하나에, with 우기 continuing with 내가 퍽이나 웃게, 퍽이나 웃게. This translates to as if I would laugh at a tiara with a studded diamond. Now, this is a very quick transition where Minnie is playing a character that's seen as dumb and beautiful, while Oogie seems to be scoffing at the fact that someone would think she would be so shallow, such as laugh at simply receiving a diamond-studded tiara. This highlights the difference between what is shown on screen and the actual person that exists off-screen. This is even more emphasized by how Oogie is clearly backstage, where people are fixing her makeup and spraying perfume. The next scene is Soyeon's rap. The lyrics in this section are like as so. 뒤틀려버린 로렐라이, 나 I don't need a man, 철학에 미친 독서광, self-made woman. This translates to a twisted Lorelei, nah, I don't need no man, a reader obsessed with philosophy, self-made woman. This section has a lot to analyze, but let's start with the lyrics. Lorelei is a character that Marilyn Monroe plays in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. The fact that she is claiming to be a twisted Lorelei is that she is breaking the audience's fantasy of her character. She's a reader obsessed with philosophy, effectively dismissing the fact that women in showbiz are often seen as dumb and unintellectual. In addition, her top is very similar to what bullet bras looked like in the 1950s, another ode to Marilyn Monroe, as the bra rose to popularity due to her wearing them. You will also notice that the book she reads in this scene is called Leaves of Grass. Leaves of Grass is a collection of poems that reflect the philosophy of the author. It's a very deep, introspective book. It was known to be one of Marilyn Monroe's favorite books, something that set her up as an intellectual and dismissed the image of dumb blonde that was forced upon her by showbiz. The sequence that follows is a series of shots that show newspaper clippings that are ripped apart by Soyeon and a news article where Soyeon is running away from an aggressive press crowd. All the articles featured are some kind of criticism of her character, her intelligence, and her new movie, Nude. In this case, nude can be interpreted as women showing their real self to the world and immediately receiving backlash because it does not match the persona that they showed the world initially. The lyrics here are 싸가지 없는 이 스토리에 무지 황당한 야유하는 관객들, you tricked me, you're a liar. The line that we need to focus on is the last one. You tricked me, you're a liar. The audience is outraged and judgmental of the true appearance of the character Soyeon is portraying. This is a very clear reflection of showbiz in Korea. Female idols are often criticized for their bare face, their body when they are their true selves, and when they become open about receiving plastic surgery. Fans often feel outraged that their idol stage persona doesn't match how they are in real life. The next scene is Miyeon, walking into a press conference / movie premiere of Nude. She is surrounded by people flashing cameras in her direction, and she is surrounded by microphones. She's expected to speak. However, she looks quite distressed about the situation. The lyrics here go as so. 밝아 벗겨져 버린 movie star. 별빛이 깨져버린 밤. This translates to an undressed movie star, a night of shattered starlight. The shattered starlight can be interpreted as an illusion breaking, where the image or the persona that she was holding up shatters in a flash, everything crashing down as she stands bare and vulnerable for the world to see. The scene transitions to multiple shots of Ugi in different outfits, strutting, doing her makeup, backstage, etc. This all accumulates to this shot. Different versions of her are shown in the background, some doing their makeup, some getting their photos taken. Distinctly, the Ugi strutting towards us is wearing black, while the other versions of her are wearing white. This contrast is a very clear symbolism to the version of herself that others see and the version that she sees in herself. The innocent-looking feminine version of her is gone, replaced by a true, stronger, tougher self. The lyrics in this moment go, 꼴이 볼품없대도 망가진다 해도 다신 사랑받지 못한대도, which translates to, even if they say I look tacky, or even if I fall apart, even if I'm never loved again. The lyrics show determination to be who she is, regardless of what the public thinks of her. Then we finally have the chorus. They are putting on a show, and oh boy, what a show it is. They're on a grand stage, surrounded by red and black. But note that the audience is empty. This can be interpreted as them being in a show for themselves and themselves only. Their true self isn't for anyone else. They are proud of who they are, proud of their body, and proud of themselves as women. The entirety of the chorus encourages other women to feel the same. The post-chorus goes like this. Baby, how do I look? How do I look? 아리따운 날 입고 따따라따라. Baby, how do I look? How do I look? 아리따운 날 입고 따따라따라. The line 아리따운 날 입고 따따라따라 can be translated to wearing my beautiful self. And 따따라따라 is just, ad-libs. Through the question, how do I look? They are challenging, daring the audience to judge them for how they look, who they are. They are criticizing how people feel like they have the right to judge how a person looks, especially women in show business. Here, Soyeon is standing in a glass case, displayed as a piece of art, while the people around her are appraising the quality of her body. She raps, 실례합니다. 여기 계신 모두 야한 작품을 기대하셨다면 Oh, I'm sorry. 그딴 건 없어요. 환불은 서쪽. 대중은 흥미없는 정보. 그 팝콘을 던져도 덤덤. 행복과 밤뒤를 평점, but my 정점. 멋대로 낸 편견은 토할 것 같지. Which translates to, excuse me, as in sorry to interrupt. Everyone here, if you expected a lewd rated R performance, oh, I'm sorry, there's no such thing. The refund is that way. What the public says is uninteresting to me. I'm deadpan even when you throw popcorn at me. The ratings you give are inversely proportional to my happiness, but my climax, those prejudices make me feel like I'm going to vomit. She judges the fact that people are expecting a show from her. She is pointing out and criticizing that judging women has become the norm and that sexy performances are expected of female stars. I want to focus on the line, the ratings you give are inversely proportional to my happiness. Ratings go up when you cater to an audience. However, catering to an audience means putting on a mask or becoming sexualized in a way that you don't want. This line specifically highlights that being rated well is just the reality of abandoning your true self. The entire rap is Hoyeon stating that she doesn't care about what others think of her. I'm going to skip forward a little, but the lyrics following the rap are 벗겨져 버린 movie star, 더 부끄러울 게 없는 밤, 꼴이 볼품없대도 어쩌면 내게도 다신 사랑받지 못한대도. The lyrics are extremely similar to the ones before. The lines that changed are a night of shattered starlight to a night where I don't need to be embarrassed anymore, and even if I say I look even if they say I look tacky, or even if I fall apart. 2. Even if they say I look tacky, perhaps even you. They change the lyrics to be more confident, more proud. They are saying that they are proud of who they are regardless of who thinks what of them. And there's a specific line I want to focus on. Even if they say I look tacky, perhaps even you. This doesn't translate well, but it basically means even if you think I'm tacky, even if you are the one that never loves me again. They are targeting a specific person, perhaps a person that is in their life, a person, perhaps family, perhaps a boyfriend, perhaps friends, perhaps acquaintances. They are being proud of who they are regardless of who thinks what of them. I'm repeating myself, but regardless. There are a lot of shots next, and I won't be able to get to a lot of them. However, this one is pretty significant. The comments on the side are a mix of disgust that Soyeon is undressing and that she is naked, while the other half are comments asking her to show them a sexy show. They're basically a mix of hate comments about her. She doesn't heed, however, and she proceeds to take off her clothes. It is also here that you will notice that the outfit of the group becomes much more modern, and it moves away from the heavy referencing of Marilyn Monroe. The tops they are wearing are much closer to their skin tone, and covered in what looks like small pieces of graffiti and graphic art. The shot that follows is a painting, portraying a nude girl. People are scrutinizing it. This will become significant later. In this dance sequence, none of the girls are wearing anything that could reference Marilyn Monroe directly. They have become their own selves. They are G-idol. The lyrics in the section goes, "Why you think that about nude? 'Cause your view's so rude. Think outside the box. 까고 말해. 아리따운 나의 눈. 아름다운 나의 누드." 까고 말해 can be translated to speak out or open up. The lyrics are encouraging women to empower themselves, to find their voice. 아리따운 and 아름다운 mean beautiful. G-idol are expressing the pride that they have of themselves. The last few shots have this snippet squeezed into it. The piece of graphic art we saw earlier with the nude girl is being shredded right in front of the audience's eyes. This is a reference to Love is in the Bin by Banksy. Banksy's painting, The Girl and the Balloon, was shredded using a hidden paper shredder in the frame as it went up for auction. This is a blatant disrespect to the audience watching and the people buying the art. It discredits the audience, showing that their bodies are pieces of art, meaning meant to be examined, sold, and put out to display. In the end, Nude is a song that intends to empower women. It is a song that criticizes the public, showbiz, and the sexualization of women everywhere. Before the video ends, here are some fun facts about Nude that I couldn't squeeze into the frame-by-frame analysis. First, Soojin, a former member of G-idol, was chased off the group because of bullying accusations. The claims were discovered to be muddy, and it was found that she was also a victim of bullying in the past, but this affected the group and Soojin heavily. Soojin was an avid fan of Marilyn Monroe, and the connection could be made that Soojin was the reason why Soyeon decided to add heavy reference to the Hollywood icon. Please check out Soojin's music. She came out as a solo artist in 2023, I believe. Yes. Second, since G-idol translates to girl children, they used G-idol nude as a way to make their song come up in search engines instead of illicit, abusive content of children, meaning that the song was a method of protection for minors. In conclusion, Nude is a masterpiece and one of my favorite songs ever in the K-pop industry. I really, really love this song. I will forever hold Soyeon in high regards for it. Also, please check out their new song, I believe it's called Crow. It's also awesome. Also, check out all of the other songs. I might be able to do another analysis of their song later on. Who knows? Maybe I'll do something like Queen Card or both Queen Card and Allergy together because those two songs are connected. It's also really cool. But thank you for listening and have a good day.